Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're ranking the top 10 best cards from Season 2 in NBA 2K26 MyTEAM. Cards that came out in packs or in promos or whatever in Season 2 of MyTEAM, and what I think are the top 10 overall cards that dropped. Before we hop into it, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 50,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day. Multiple videos a day. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. But without further ado, let's get into it. I've never done a video like this before in terms of a top 10 from the season. Y'all let me know if y'all enjoy it. I'll probably do it next season if it gets good views and people seem to enjoy the video. If not, maybe I won't. We'll see. But either way, at number 10, I am going to go with Kel'el Ware. I love this Kel'el Ware card, as I think many of y'all know. 7 foot with a 7'4" wingspan. He's 89 speed, 86 3 ball. 85 standing and driving doesn't seem amazing, but his finishing badges, I mean, half the posterizer is really good. Every single finishing badge in the game on at least gold, and his dunk animations are nasty. He's a versatile, super solid defender, great rebounder, and he gets awesome animations. He's 7 foot with a 7'4" wingspan. Looks more like 7'1" with a 7'6" wingspan. He plays everything. He is so big, so versatile, so athletic, and honestly, his jumper is super smooth and consistent as well. It's not crazy fast, but it's very good. I love this card. I think he's the best Amethyst card in the game easily, and I legitimately think he is a top 10 card that came out this season. Like, no joke. Number 9 is going to be Chris Bosh. I do think Bosh is just slightly better than Kel'el. Kel'el is definitely bigger, much better player build, but Bosh still has great stats in his own right, has better badges, and has a better, faster jumper, in my opinion. They're honestly relatively similar cards, both Verity quality bigs who kind of do everything well, solid finishers, great shooters, really solid, versatile defenders. I think Kel'el's size is nice, but I do think Bosh's additional jumper and extra Hoff badges probably makes a little bit of a difference. Overall, they are close to each other. I think I lean Bosh at 9, Kel'el at 10. That's how I'd rank it. Both really good cards, though. I think 2K did a really good job with Bosh as a Season 2 level 40 reward. He's a very, very solid option who can play competitively. Every card on this list can play at a competitive level for a fact. Number 8 is actually going to be Cooper Flag. I really like this card. He's not an insane slasher, but he is he's not an insane shot creator, but he's an elite slasher with great size, great speed, great defense. Very switchable quality defender who has Hoff posterizer, bunch of other Hoff finishing badges, 95 driving dunk, 91 3 ball, 92 speed, and extremely versatile quality defense. That's really where he's at his best, is that elite level defensive ability, not to mention a very solid jumper. He's got a decent escape. I wouldn't say his movement is anything particularly spectacular overall, but I do think he's a very solid card still, and I would still recommend him as a very high level option at the point guard position, at the small forward position. I am still a big fan of Cooper Flag overall, and I think it's reasonable to put him at number 8. Honestly, you could even argue him a bit higher. He just doesn't do a ton of shot creation stuff, but he's a really good card. I'm a big fan of Coop in my team. Number 7 is going to be Jaren Jackson Jr., another card, obviously, that I love. I've gassed this card up a ton ever since he came out, and that's not going to change. He's 6'10" with 7'4" wingspan. He's got a player build that looks bigger than that. His release is very, very, very solid. Defensively, he is... actually, I'd say his release is elite, honestly. Defensively, he's very, very capable in his own right. He is extremely switchable. His player build, like I said, makes him play bigger than you'd think against centers and stuff. Not to mention, I don't think height matters as much this year. He's a super solid finisher. He's just extremely complete badge-wise. There's just a ton to like about this card. In my opinion, he's the best diamond card in the game. I think he's very, very good. I also could have put Diamond Dylan Harper on this list. He was probably number 11 on this list. I think he's dang good as well, but I decided not to include him. That being said, I do think this is a pretty fair list, and I think as of right now, we got a good one going to this point. Number 6 is going to be a card in David Robinson, who I like, but I will admit is probably a little bit flawed in that his jumper's not ridiculous. You know what I mean? Everything else about the card is really, really good. But to be honest, D-Rob's jumper isn't spectacular. And I think that is a valid thing to criticize about the card. He's a very good card. It does a lot of things well, has great speed. He's very Embiid-esque in a lot of ways, honestly. But Embiid and Hakeem, obviously the best bigs in my team, but his jumper's not amazing, and I think that is a real valid criticism that you can have of the card. Does a lot of things still well, but he's not the best shooter. He has really good finishing, really good defense, great stats, great speed, great size. That 7'1", having that 87 speed, that's really, really solid. And I don't think the jumper's bad either. I just don't absolutely love it, if that makes sense. Don't think he's bad, but I don't adore the card, in my opinion. I think number 6 is probably right. He'd be higher in previous years, but his jumper just isn't quite as it just doesn't quite do it for me as much this year. I don't know. Maybe that's just my opinion. Y'all may not all agree with me, but I do think he has some things you can validly criticize about the card. Number 5 is going to be Devin Booker. I am a fan of D-Book as well, quite a lot. Offensively, he's probably the best scoring PG in the game. His release is absolutely nasty. I actually think he's a pretty capable defender as well, in all honesty. Not the best defensively, obviously, but good enough to be a solid option. And a guy who I think people probably look at as he's gonna be great offensively, but he's a defensive liability. He's not really. He has a decent amount of badges already defensively. His release is legitimately very solid. His size is decent. Like, he can compete a bit on the interior. If you put him in the right position, he's not at all a liability defensively in the slightest. I think he's offensively really special, though, especially animation-wise. I mean, his jumper's spectacular, especially on quick, but also the fact that he's got such great, like his step back especially is really good. There's just a lot to like about Devin Booker as a card. I think when you look at best point guards in the game, you could make the argument D-Book is the best in the game. I think right now I'd probably say Shea personally is, at least in my opinion, the best point guard in the game, but D-Book absolutely has an argument, especially with his elite level shot creation. Number 4 is going to be Kristaps Porzingis. KP, I personally even like better. Oh, you know who I forgot to put on this list? I forgot to include Wemby. And, wow, I forgot 2 cards, actually. You know what? Y'all are getting a top 12. Because I'm including both those cards, and I'm realizing, because I forgot to include Wild Gem cards. And I think this is fair. I'm going to put Wemby and KP back-to-back, because they're basically the same card. Call me crazy. I'm going to put KP above Wemby, because I do think that KP does move better defensively than Wemby does. He's got +1 speed and +5 agility. Wemby's great. He's huge. He's very glitchy on the interior. He absolutely defends his butt off on the inside. Obviously, offensively, he's glitchy as well. His jumper's super nice. He's got solid badges, but he's not unbelievably complete badge-wise. I do think his lack of speed and agility does actually hold him back just the slightest bit. I still think he's one of the best cards in the game, but I don't think he's as ridiculously great as he was last year, if that makes sense. He's still very good, but last year he absolutely ruled the game. Literally was the best card in the game for a while. This year, I don't think that is the case. And I mean, honestly, KP, I know he's 2 inches shorter. His jumper is probably a little better than Wemby's. He's got better shooting badges. Defensively, they're relatively similar. Wemby might be slightly better on the interior, and he is a little bit bigger. But on the perimeter, KP's a little faster and obviously has that +5 agility, which I think does make a difference. +18 strength as well. Obviously favors Wemby. There's no doubt about that. Or favors KP, I should say. That's obvious. I think they're both good. I actually prefer KP slightly. Maybe y'all can call me a crazy person if you want, but that's just my opinion. I really do think KP is an absolutely spectacular option. And then at number 4, the other card that I forgot is Ron Artest. Those 2 Wild Gem Pink Diamonds are absolutely elite. Definitely the 2 best Wild Gem Pink Diamonds this season. This Artest card is basically Scottie Pippen, but an inch shorter, and in some areas maybe even a little bit better across the board, though, at the same time. I think he is really great as a big, switchable, versatile, kind of do-it-all small forward option in that he's very quality defensively. He's got a good jumper. He's got great slashing ability. He's just a really good card. He reminds me a lot of Pippen, in all honesty. Decent escape. Pippen's behind the back. Really good jumper. Solid dribble style. Just not a liability across the board. Does pretty much everything well, and he's extremely elite defensively. I really like Artest's card. I think he's definitely one of the best cards that came out in season 2. And honestly, you could argue I'm a spot or 2 higher. That being said, I love KD, especially a badged KD. I am going to put KD in my number 3 spot. 6'10" with a 7'5" wingspan, 92 speed, 96 3-ball. I know he's not unbelievable as a slasher, but Hoff posterizer with a very good jumper. Defensively, very solid as well. I know he's not statistically insane. On paper, Ron Artest is definitely better than KD, but KD is a 6'10", 7'5" wingspan, big, versatile, athletic wing who has great movement, a great jumper, just a lot to like overall about Kevin Durant in my team. I really like his jumper this year. I think it's the best KD's jumper has been in I don't know how long. It's definitely been a few years since KD's been legitimately one of the very best cards in my team because his jumper the last few years was a little bit underwhelming. That's absolutely not the case this year. He's tough to contest. He's just really good all the way around, and I think he deserves to be number 3 on the list. Number 2, Hakeem Olajuwon. He's arguably the best center in the game. He's 90 speed, basically, 88 speed, great finisher, great defender, has a solid jumper, elite finisher, like I said, obviously, and defensively and rebounding wise, I think he's arguably the best big in the game. He gets ridiculous rebounding animations. I mean, this card is absolutely freaking awesome when it comes to his finishing, his rebounding, and his defense, and I think he shoots the ball well too. I'm a big fan of Hakeem's cards, always in my team, but especially this year. I really like his jumper. The fact that he's got that De'Aaron Fox escape as well is super nice, and I just think realistically, height matters a little less this year. So guys like KP and Wemby, who were the best bigs last year, are a little overtaken now by the faster, more athletic, more versatile options like Hakeem and Embiid, especially considering Hakeem's stat and badge completeness as well is so phenomenal. Overall, I think they're all really good cards, but I think Hakeem is my favorite big that came out in Season 2. That being said, my favorite card that came out in Season 2 is definitely LeBron. He is, I mean, look, 6'9", unbelievable defender with an absolutely nasty jumper, insane slashing ability. I mean, he's LaThanos, basically. Look at his stats. 95 everything, pretty much. He just does literally everything well. His badges are extremely complete. His release is awesome. He just is one of the best cards in my team, without a doubt. And I think if you're looking, I mean, obviously, I kind of regret not getting this card, in all honesty, because he is one of the very best cards in my team and likely will be for the rest of the year. Not for the rest of the year, but for the next few months. And then until his next card comes out, I should probably say. That's probably a fairer way to say it. Bron's absolutely nasty, and he's going to continue to be nasty for quite a while. I do think he's probably the second best card in the game right now and the best card in Season 2. So, with that being said, that's the list. I know it turned into a top 12 because I forgot Wemby in our test initially, but I think this is a pretty accurate list right now. I hope y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace!